going on, you guys? This be your boy Scotty, and this is my review on the Chasing Dallas Season 1 reunion show. I have quite a few things to talk about, but before I get into what I want to talk about, let's just take the time out to shout out to one of the cast members, King Kane. He actually made this. If you watched my Unfiltered episode, you know, he was the very first person to appear on my Unfiltered segment. And when he came to the show, he gave me this, you know. So, I was like, you know, I said, how perfect. I should wear this for the video. I waited. I mean, I wasn't, you know, gonna do it at first, you know, but this was something that I came up with at the last minute. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna wear this on the review or whatever. What best way to close out this season by, you know, doing a review with what he had on. So, yeah, so this is a King Kane creation that I have on, just to let y'all know, and thank you so much for this. So, before I get into the happenings of the reunion, I will say that overall, the reunion, it wasn't bad and it wasn't all that great either. There were things that could have been much better. I feel like if everybody would have came, we would have really gotten a better reunion, but I can take it. I mean, I think it was a good close off to the season, and it's open-ended to the next season. That's what I will say. Now, let's get into the host. I did not like the host. I saw Markel's live, and I did see when, and that was the day that they did the reunion. After they did the reunion or whatever, I saw Markel's live. He was on live with Premier, and he was on live with Reese G. And then I think Reese was like, I think our host did a great job. So when Reese said that the host did a great job, you know, I was like, okay, so this reunion finna be on point. We finna set it off up in this bitch. But then I'm looking at this fucking reunion and I'm like, why is he here? Can he read? Like, it's like he trying hard to be shady. Like, just interview these motherfuckers. Get to the real tea. Dig deep. Get to what the fuck we need instead of doing all that extra shit. It just came across as him doing a bunch of extra shit, and I was just not here for it. So I'm not trying to diss the motherfucker, you know. I don't even know the man, so this ain't nothing personal. This is just my personal opinion. I don't think that he did a great job with the reunion. I don't think so. You know, I don't think he did. That's just my personal opinion. I'm just saying. And as far as the fashions are concerned, I loved what Aubrey had on. First of all, Aubrey is so cute. Aubrey is very cute to me. With the hair, without the hair, he got that good skin. He's cute as fuck, and he rocked what he had on. Of course, I loved what Kane had on. He looked fabulous, as he always does. And I did like what Charles had on. And honestly, what Charles had on, that looked like something that Charles would wear. You know what I'm saying? Me knowing him, I know that that's what he would wear. You know, so he's a dress up type of guy in damn way. So that's something that he would wear. But B King, he looked like he was just going to the store. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with that. Because if I was on that motherfucking show, I probably wouldn't have got totally dressed up too. Hell, I probably would have came in there with a shirt with Tupac on it. I probably would have came in there with a Biggie shirt on, or one of those shirts from Spencer's that I love to wear without crazy sayings on there. I probably would have did the same motherfucking thing, to be quite honest. So I ain't even here to judge. You know, I understand you, B King. I do understand you. But all in all, those were the three looks that I liked the most. I liked Kane's look. I liked Aubrey's look, and I like Charles' look, and Markel's look wasn't so bad either. I liked his too. So what we're gonna do now is that I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about. What was more entertaining to me, you know. So now that Wooda Lee is here, you know, because he ain't been here for the majority of the season, he's here now. We can finally discuss this whole situation about whether Charles owe him money or do the whole, you know, whatever the fuck the name, King's Pride owe him the money. Now, during the season, during the duration of the fucking season, it was said by Wooda Lee that Charles owed him some fucking money. When he see Charles, he gonna whoop his ass. The whole fucking nine. It's just like, you came on this motherfucker to say that this dude was stealing money from you. Like, that's how you put it out there. You put it out there. Like, Charles was just taken from you. You know what I'm saying? And come to find out, it wasn't even him. Charles don't owe you shit. It's King's pride that owe you something. So, you basically backpedaled and pussy popped in a sense, because it's kind of like, the way you put it out there, like, you're going to beat Charles' ass. That's an ass whooping. You don't play about your money. That's the way you put it out there. But at the same time, it wasn't even about him. It was probably just about the people that he fucking worked for. You know, King's Pride. You know, they ripping people out. They doing this. But just say that King's Pride owe you some money. Don't say that Charles owe you some money. He doesn't owe you anything. That's number one. So basically, what it comes across to me, you tried to use this whole King's Pride thing as a ploy to get you a storyline. And, you know, you and Charles can go at it on the show. Now, you may not, that could have been, you know, that might not have been your intention. But on the outside looking in, that's how it looked to me. I cannot lie to you. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. And that's the way it looked. You put it out there like this dude owed you tons of money. You know what I'm saying? He took it from you. You know, you invested in some shit. You never got your money back. You got ripped off. Now you want to whoop a bitch ass. If you got ripped off, you need to want to whoop a bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to want to whoop a bitch ass if you got fucking ripped off. I mean, that's just what it is. Because I don't give a fuck. If a motherfucker rip me off, I'm going to want to whoop their motherfucking ass too. Let's just keep it 100. So, I understand that. But if you're going to tell the story the correct way so we can all understand what the fuck it is that you're talking about. And quite frankly, you know, me knowing Charles, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that we the best of friends. You know, like I said, we have mutual friends in common. We done hung out before. So I know him as a person. And as a person that knows him, I will say that he's not a thief. I've never known him to be no thief. You know, every time I'm around this dude, he's always been nice to me. We've always, you know, like I said, we even on my Instagram, I posted like an old picture of us. Like, he's always been cool, you know, always, you know, just always been an easygoing guy. So when I see him on this reunion and the way he going to fuck off and all of this stuff, I personally say he's coming out of character, because that's not the Charles that I know. But when you in a situation like this and you're around a bunch of shady motherfuckers, you're gonna come out of your box, and that's just what it is. So him and Wooda pretty much buried that, but I just didn't like how Wooda made it look like he was stealing the money when it was just, when, you know, making it seem like Charles is the issue when it was really King's Pride that was the fucking issue. And at this point, Charles don't even deal with, you know, he don't even promote for King's Pride anymore. So that's that. So we got into the situation about friendships on the show. And we dug into the whole freaking frack thing between Kane and Aubrey. Now, if y'all saw my interview with Kane, I asked him who was he the closest to on the show, and he did say Aubrey. So I do enjoy, I like their little friendship. I think that I kind of figured that they would bond the most, because, I mean, they're so much alike, and on top of that, I like both of them, hell. So, you know, it is what it is. I like them both. And I enjoy their friendship. I hope they both come back next season so we can see more of the friendship. So when they asked Reese G how he felt about the friendship, you know what I'm saying? He was like, he endorses anybody's relationship. You know what I'm saying? They kind of hit it off. They clicked, you know, but him and Aubrey don't talk anymore. And, you know, Aubrey's issue with Reese is that, you know, he was talking about him behind his back. He was basically talking about something personal to another friend behind his back. And Reese's whole thing is, you know, we're all friends. I should be able to talk about a certain situation. Like, you were having a situation and I was just giving my opinion to it with someone else. I can't really get mad about that, because when you're in a group of friends, you know, sometimes y'all do tend to talk about a certain situation. Like, say, for instance, I'm in this group of guy friends. It's like 5 of us. we may discuss something with one of the other friends about the other one, because, you know, maybe it's like, you know, I want him to do better, you know, I want him to do this, I want him to do that, or I don't like, you know, how this person is treating him, or I don't like how his man doing him, you know, friendship stuff. But there may be some things that a person may tell you, although we're all in a group of friends, I only told you because I only wanted you to know. I don't want everybody else to know, and that's not shade to nobody else in the group, but I just only told you. So that could have been what it was. And Aubrey was like, Reese backstabbed him, and he pretty much, you know, told him something personal. He went and told his business to not only the friend, but other people and all of this type of stuff. And it seems to be an ongoing thing with Reese. You know, Reese is always in the middle of some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, watching this show, Reese is always in some shit. Like, Reese, what are you doing, honey? Like, what are you doing? Why are you always in some shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always something, and then it's like you victimize yourself too. You know what I'm saying? It's like you do shit and then you victimize yourself to get people on your side, but it just doesn't work. Because this right here just wasn't working. And it's just sad that the friendship broke apart off camera like that. But, you know, it is what it is. It is kind of fucked up. But, you know, when you feel betrayed by a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? It's just hard to come back from it. And, you know, me being a fucking Aquarius, you know, I give people chance after chance after motherfucking chance. I really do give people chance after chance. And sometimes you just got to push that one big red and black button. Red and black, my favorite color. You push that one red and black button and it's on and motherfucking popping. And if I get 38 hot, bitch, you need to turn your motherfucking head and go the other way. Because I'm going to fuck your ass up and I'm going to fuck up this whole fucking friendship that we got, and we ain't going to have one. That's just what it is. So, that's fucked up. I hate that Reese and Ari ain't friends. But sometimes people just got to take accountability for what they do. And I just feel like Reese doesn't take accountability. Like, he do shit, but then, you know, he act like he innocent in the shit that he pulls. And you're not necessarily innocent. Just say, I probably should have done that. It probably was a bad decision. Or I was wrong. Or whatever. It doesn't take much to do that. You know, all you gotta say is that I'm wrong, and that's that. Okay, so the subject about B. King's marriage came up. And I will say that this reunion did make me like B. King a little bit more than I already did. I'm gonna have to find him on Instagram and follow him. But they were talking about his marriage. And then that's where Markel came in and started being shady about his marriage. Now, I normally like Markel, but I felt like he was out of pocket. Everybody has their opinion about B. King's marriage, because, you know, I have my own opinion about it. I can't necessarily, I can't say that I'm totally against what he's doing. You know, some people do have threesomes when they're married to someone, or they have threesomes when they're in a relationship. Sometimes they do shit to spice up their sex life. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily mean that they're not happy with their partner sexually. They just want to try something different. And, you know, people are entitled to do what they please in their relationship. You can't knock nobody for that. But you also can't knock a person for your opinion. But just like Iyanla told Tamar, your message, well, I forget what she say. Your delivery I can't remember what she said, but let me just paraphrase what she said in my own little way. Your delivery fucks up your message. You know what I'm saying? Your delivery fucks it up. And the way Markel came out of his hat with the bullshit and started coming for the dude, I feel like B. King had every right to read him the way that he did. Because, no shade, but he did kind of read the fuck out of, he kind of read the fuck out of Markel on that stage. He kind of did, and rightfully so. Because I just felt like Markel was being judgmental. You know what I'm saying? Like, You ain't gotta agree with a motherfucker's lifestyle. You ain't gotta agree with a motherfucking way of living. You ain't even gotta agree with the way they handle their relationship. You can state your opinion, but you don't have to be so uppity and judgmental about the situation, because that's how it came across. Especially to me, it came across like he was being totally judgmental, like straight up judgmental all the way around. Like, that's how it came across to me as a viewer. And it's just like, how can you come for somebody's marriage? You're not married. I ain't even married, so I ain't really got no right to come for his motherfucking marriage. Everybody needs to agree to disagree. But if you got an opinion, fine, but you ain't got to be judgmental. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like he was totally taking digs, and that's why B. King said what he said, honestly. And, he came for, Mark Kelly and his Remy. He did. Now, I don't give a fuck who get mad. It's just, I'm just calling it as I see it. He did come for him. He really did, yeah, he did. And rightfully so. I mean, but if, bringing a third party into his bed makes B. King happy, then that's what it is. It makes him happy. You can't get mad at him for that, now can you? Everybody, whatever works for one person, it probably ain't gonna work for the next. So, Tony Price's absence. I watched Tony's live the other day, and he did explain why he wasn't there. He had just lost his grandmother, so he really wasn't in the best headspace to be there. But it was mainly, Charles even said, sometimes, Tony can rub people the wrong way when you first meet him. And honestly, when I first started watching this show, Tony rubbed me the wrong way, and I ain't even know him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got that personality to where you can't take him when you first meet him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got this personality, like, you don't know what you gonna get, and, you're not gonna like him when you first meet him. Honestly, Tony reminds me a lot of my fucking sister. My sister is a Virgo, just like he is. Just like Kane is. So that's probably why they couldn't get along. But, that personality that he has, I can honestly see that, he can rub people the wrong way when you first meet him. I can see that by looking at the show. I can. But as the show went on, I actually started to like Tony. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, first of all, Tony is cute. You know what I'm saying? He got a nice little body on him, And his personality really ain't that bad. And I've talked to Tony in DMs. I remember when I reached out to him to do Unfiltered when I was coming to Dallas, and he was very sweet, very professional about it. And I'm like, okay, so this ain't the same person that I see on the show. He really is nice and sweet. Maybe I'm not seeing every little thing about him, but as far as my interactions with Tony, he was always a sweet person to me. I can just say that. I ain't been on the show with him, so, But Premier says something. And he was saying, a lot of these girls like to go live, but then when they come on set, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of like they don't keep the same energy. And, I'm like, okay, I do agree with that in a sense. I mean, like, if you're going to go on live and you're going to talk shit, and when you see me on set, you need to keep the same energy. Don't be fake with me. If you got something to say to me, if you got something to say about me on live, say that same shit to me when you see me on the damn set. Point blank in the fuck period. Point blank and the fucking period. If you got anything you want to say about me on live, you need to come in my face and say the same shit. Because in my real life, and that's probably why, people always have said, I've seen people in my comments before, when I went live one time. And although I know they'll never bring no Chasing Reality web series to Jackson, Mississippi, I don't ever see them doing it. But someone said, Scotty, do you see yourself being on a show like, if they brought, Chasing Reality to Jackson, Mississippi, would you do it? I probably wouldn't. Number one, I don't even hang out with people like that around in Jackson, so I probably wouldn't even fit in. And on top of that, like, I would probably do a Chasing Dallas before I do a Chasing Jackson, because, I'm cool with Charles. At this point, I'm cool with Kane, and I'm also, I would say that I'm cool with Aubrey, because we have, talked on social media since the show aired. So those are the three people that I like the most. So I can see myself chatting with them. You know, I also like Markel too, so I could see myself, you know, filming with them or whatever. So I probably see myself doing that. But when someone asks me, would you ever see yourself doing Chase and Jackson? Even though I said I would do Chase and Dallas in a sense, I feel like I wouldn't even be suitable for a show like that. Honestly, because I don't even think my personality is good enough for this type of show. Because I don't hang around many gays like that. And there's a reason why I don't. I feel like most gay guys are shady as fuck. And every time I'm around like gays, it's never been a comfortable thing for me. And it's not about me not being comfortable with my sexuality, because I'm most definitely comfortable with my sexuality, but being around other gays has always been uncomfortable, because even when I go to the gay club, well, I ain't even been to the gay club around here in a long time, but when I would go to the gay club here, I'd be stared down, everybody looking at me crazy, and I'm just sitting off to myself having my drink, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, the girls just don't, you know, it just came across as if the girls just didn't like me, you know, and I don't know why, but it is what it is. So I just try to picture myself being on a show like Chasing Dallas or being on a show like Chasing Atlanta, and I'll be like, man, I don't know if I fit. I'm too laid back. You know, it takes a lot to get me out of character. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to make me mad. You know, I'm way too calm. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, especially in an argument, you know, and these shows thrive off arguments. These shows thrive off drama. So when someone coming for me and they arguing, I am so calm. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like when my sister was yelling at me a couple of weeks ago, I had told Tony this in a DM. I said, you remind me of my sister, because you would yell and you would scream, and I just sit there like, okay, you done? Okay, why are you yelling? You know, why are you yelling? That's exactly how I am in an argument, and that just pisses everybody off. My mother is a Cancer, and she's so fucking emotional and sensitive. I'd be like, but Mom, why are you yelling at me? Like, it's not that serious. Like, what is your problem? Are you okay? You know, that makes her even more pissed. You know, so, I don't know. But I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Tony and Charles and Kane made this show. The thing of it is, Tony and Charles just wasn't around. The two names you heard out of everybody's mouth the most was Tony Price and Charles Jackson. If they were both on this show, as frequent as their names were talked about in this show, the show would have been much better. I just take my word for that. It would have been much better if they were around. And that's just my personal opinion. But yeah. So, the host was upset about Charles' remark, about the films and shit like that. And I don't know why, gays get so fucking offended. This is what I be talking about. Gays are so damn sensitive. They get offended by every goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? They get offended about every fucking thing. Because I've made a comment once before about films, and it wasn't nothing to be to be defensive about. I just said that even though I'm not the most masculine guy in the world, and I'm also not the most feminine guy in the world either, I tend to not get along with other films. Like, you know, I can't even be friends with other films because it's always some catty shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, it wasn't me trying to be shady. But, you know, the gays, they take everything so fucking personal. And I don't know why they take everything so damn personal. It ain't that damn serious, but they do. And, you know, some people may not. As far as preference is concerned, you know, the topic was about preference. And, you know, just like Charles said, everyone has their preference. And that's true. I'd much rather not date a guy that wears makeup and a wig. That doesn't attract me. It doesn't turn me on. Like, I will say that as far as my preference is concerned, it is kind of well-rounded. I mean, as far as a relationship goes, I do like a more masculine guy. I do like a more masculine guy when I'm in a relationship with him. But if I want to fool around, I like to fool around with a bottom. Well, Bottoms can be femme or masculine. But let's just say, when I want to mess around and fool around, I like to fool around with another femme. I like to kiss a femme. I like to grab the asses of a femme. I like to touch and caress and grind on a femme. That's what I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to fool around, mess around, you know, do something real drunk and all of that stuff, drunk and hot or whatever, I like to fool around with a femme. That's just me. I like femmes. You know, in the sexual manner. I don't want to be in no relationship with a femme because I feel like I'm just as femme as another femme. But I'm not that femme, but I'm not that masculine either. So it's like, if I want to fool around, I want to fool around with a femme. If I want to be in a relationship, I want to be in a relationship with a guy that's a little bit more masculine than me. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that makes sense. I don't know, but you know. And who say I'd never do relationships with a femme? Who say I would never do one? You know what I'm saying? But as of right now, I like to fool around with one. You know, I like to kiss a femme. I like to lick a femme. I like to do whatever. I like to do that. That's just my personal opinion. I can't even believe I'm talking about this on camera, but that's what I like. Okay, so we're going to talk about this whole thing with Reese and Charles, and then we're going to be done. But, all in all, Reese, listen, I think that you like Charles. I think you wanted to be with Charles. I think you wanted to fuck Charles. Because let's just keep it all the way 100. Charles is fine, okay? Before I even met Charles, before I even was cool with Charles, I thought that he was fine. He was probably before there was a Man Crush Monday, he probably was my Man Crush Monday. Because he is fine. He's a nice, thick, dark-skinned guy. Nice, wavy hair. You know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't want to fuck with him? I wanted to in the past. He don't know that. When he watched this video, he'll probably know. But I used to crush on Charles before I actually just met him and gotten to be cool with him. He's a handsome guy. But just admit that. And just admit that you were fucked up for what you did, bruh. And then you bringing these receipts, which did not change my thoughts about this whole situation. I just think you were being pure messy. You brought the shit to the show for the show. And at the end of the day, it was at his expense. You had everybody looking at him fucked up. You got people thinking he's a scammer. You got people thinking that he has HIV. That's something that's fucked up. And I don't see how the fuck you don't think that he has a right to be pissed off about that. He got every right. And just like he said, that's some ass whooping type of shit. And that's some real shit, because if I was on that fucking show and somebody was lying on me like that, that would have taken me out of character too, Reese. Real talk, real tea, real Coke, real Sprite, whatever you want to sip on, real Jack Daniels, what the fuck ever. That's how I feel. I feel like there was some fucked up shit, and I feel like that was some shit that was at his fucking expense. Just keeping it 100. You know, you can't get mad with me for stating my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people get mad when you state your opinion. But I ain't saying that he do, but it is what it is. I just feel like you was completely wrong. I feel like you just did it the wrong way. You probably should have never brought it to this fucking show. It probably should have never, but, you know, you needed some drama, so you brought it to the show, and that's just what it is. But, you know, I just feel like you want to sit here and you want to act innocent, but you have been dragging Charles' name the whole damn season, and it all started with the Easter egg hunt that you had, and then you just kept dragging him, and you kept dragging him, and you kept dragging him. Charles didn't drag you not one time on this show. He didn't drag you at all. He didn't drag you in none of his fucking confessionals. And every fucking confessional you had, you drugged the boy. You did. Just own up to that. You was dragging this man. So he got every right to be fucking mad. I don't care what you say. I don't care what he say. I don't care what she say. I don't care what nobody say. You was dragging the fuck out of this boy. And he had every right to be pissed. Point blank. He did. He did. There's nothing else that you can say about that. Period. One thing I'm going to say before I go. I really enjoyed the way Charles handled that shit, because I feel like Charles really redeemed himself. Not that he even needed any redemption, period. I like the way he handled this whole thing. He got a lot of shit clear. I feel like he was vindicated in this fucking reunion, if you ask me. B King, I like the way he handled himself against Markel. I'm sorry, but I did. I had to rewind that shit like, ooh, wait a minute now. I watched it on my phone last night, and I was like, wait a minute now. Ooh. Then I watched it just a minute ago on the TV, and I had to keep rewinding that. I'm sorry, but he handled that shit. First of all, let's just say this. I think that everybody on the cast should return, with the exception of Wooda. Because Wooda wasn't even here for most of the season. So it's kind of like, you know, why do we need him back, you know? But if he comes back, I don't have a problem with it. I like to see a big ass, so I don't have a problem with it. But, you know, if I were to have a cast, I'd bring back Reese, I'd bring back Premier, I'd bring back Markel, I'd bring back Charles, I'd bring back B. King, I'd bring back Kane, and I'd bring back Aubrey. And I think I said Tony already. So I'll bring back everybody but Wooda. But if Wooda come back, we got to see more of Wooda. I feel like we didn't get to know his personality. And the little that I did see, I didn't like because, you know. But all in all, the season itself, it could have been much better. It could have been much better. It had a lot of promise. It had a lot of, you know, it was promising. I could say that. It was too short. The scenes were way too long and drawn out. And it took a long time for us to get to the point. You know what I mean? So you gotta be, you know, you gotta know what you're doing when it comes down to that. You know, I think that as a pop star on the show, I think that Reese was the best. You know, he did his job well as being a pop star. I think that as a personality, I think that Tony did his job as a villain. And I think as the fan favorite, I think Kane did what he needed to do. You know, he probably is one of the fan favorites of the show. He was the first one that I connected with. I didn't mention Charles' name because I know him, so that will be biased. So I didn't mention his name, but I do want him to come back. And also, I just want to thank Kane for even doing my unfiltered. I've always thanked him. I can't thank him enough. He was my first real interview. I want to thank Tony and Charles just for even agreeing to do it, even though we couldn't do it. I do thank y'all for even giving me that opportunity, for even reaching out to y'all, even y'all thinking about doing it. I really do appreciate all of that. Like I said, everybody, you know, I hope everybody comes back for the second season. I hope everybody does their thing. I hope everybody brings it next season. And I will be reviewing it. And I hope that with me doing these reviews, I hope ain't nobody dislike me over this shit. But if you did, oh well. And, you know, I'll probably come back and try to interview y'all next season. So, that's all I really got to say. I got to go to the nail shop to get my eyebrows done. And I got to get this haircut next, you know, later on today. You see this shit? Hot mess. But I'm done, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.